2 weeks ago, I decided to embrace discomfort and take on the most difficult adventure I've ever been on. Surviving the desert for 6 days while trekking for over 80 kilometers with no help or service. Completely isolated. Just us and nature.
There are very dangerous snakes living in desert. 20 minutes you will die.
Because if you never seek out discomfort, there will never be growth in your life.
I just had to stop for a second because my knee situation is getting so bad. Oh man, good morning. It's been a very rough night. We have to make it back. We have to do these kilometers. And I think we really did underestimate it.
Honestly, 5 years ago, every major decision in my life felt absolutely daunting. I really thought that I had no confidence or autonomy at all. But then, everything changed. There is something really interesting happening in society right now. Comfort is taking over our lives. At first, comfort feels great. We feel safe, we crave the comfort, and we love the routine of it.
Right, so we actually have to take a lot of stuff because we're here for 6 days.
Right, so these are the bags I'm carrying. 6 liters of water, 1 liter a day. Let's see.
But if you dive deeper into the neuroscience and consequences of only seeking out comfort, then trust me, it becomes a huge problem. It can literally ruin your life. And that's why my mate Nick and I decided to head out on this adventure. We decided to be dropped off near the border of Saudi and then walk back all the way to the camp where we stayed the first night. And knowing that this would be my most difficult journey so far, I knew that here I could find the answers to today's problem of comfort.
He's about to leave. After this, there's no way of contacting them. So all these bottles of water make it really, really heavy. It's gonna be tough, holy moly.
See, in life we can follow 3 paths. One of comfort, one of discomfort, and one path in between. But if we look at the first 2, we start to see huge differences. While the person seeking discomfort becomes resilient through regularly facing challenges, the other becomes fragile by constantly avoiding challenges. And that's why I keep seeking out this discomfort and why I decided to take on this journey. This desert is no joke. Anything can happen. We can get bitten by a snake or by a scorpion, we can run out of water, our legs can give up, but in this moment I don't seem to care. There will be moments of extreme tiredness, where every fiber of my being screams for rest, but it's in these moments that I find strength. Because with challenges like this, we can learn new ways to navigate our world.
So actually here in the desert now, especially in the winter, it's pretty warm during the day, but during the night it really cools down. It gets to around 0 degrees. That's why I'm carrying a big blanket like that.
It's only when I first took a step outside of my comfort zone when I learned the key to a successful life. It's when I started to understand how to navigate new situations. Because what I started to notice is that with each decision, my confidence increased, my perspective changed, my fear reduced, and I learned how to solve problems all by myself.
So if you think about it, I'm already quite low on energy, to be honest, and I only have this left of water for today. Then I have one of these a day for the next couple of days, so let's see.
So the comfort zone is considered a space in which you feel relaxed. And this zone is called comfortable due to the fact that everything that happens within it is predictable.
Alright, so we found a good spot now to hide from the sun. Honestly, I think this first day we're definitely not going to do enough kilometers. It's one of the most difficult things I've ever done, but it's also one of the most beautiful places. I highly recommend going here.
And life being predictable might sound great, because then you know what comes next. But living life within this is all but nice, because spending time in this space does not bring about any strong emotions and feelings. But once you do step out of it, life will completely change. Here in the desert, without all modern comforts and conveniences, I can see things clearly again. See, first of all, when you don't step outside of your comfort zone, you can't ever learn something new. It's like when you climb a mountain. The first step will always be the hardest. It's where many people turn back. But overcoming it is a testament to our determination. Our society has become so obsessed with the pursuit of comfort, mistaking it for happiness. But you are not going to become experienced by staying inside of the comfort zone. And here, there is no place for that. All I can do here is be uncomfortable, grow, and think.
To be honest, it's 9 o'clock already, and the reason I slept in is just because it's so rough. I didn't sleep well, woke up 3 times to go outside and pee, and as soon as there were like gaps in my blanket, I would just get so cold. I think we gotta hurry up and start walking.
Today, I'm reminded of how scary things used to be for me. I used to be so accustomed to the way my life was. Even the thought of trying something new was frightening to me. Instead, I used to stagnate and my life didn't evolve. While during all that time, I could have grown and learned so many things along the way. But I didn't, because I stayed inside of the comfort zone. I was afraid of failure.
Alright, so we got the scarf ready for the walk. Remember that I said yesterday that we have 80 kilometers all the way from the point where we were dropped off to the camp? That means that we have to do 16 kilometers a day. Well, it turns out yesterday we only did 8, so that means that we have to make up for that today. It's gonna be very tough. Because, yeah, we just have to. If we don't make it, it's gonna be a big problem, and I have a flight to catch at the end, so let's get going.
Now, the second thing I realized here is that when you stay inside of the comfort zone, you won't evolve. And you will stay at the same level of development. And on a trip like this, I am reminded of it once again. Because life is meant to be a series of decisions and events that teach us to be stronger and smarter. And this experience and knowledge will allow you to cope with tasks easier. But if you stay inside of the comfort zone, now development will never happen. And it's as simple as that.
Also, during trips like this, one of the most important things is that you really take enough food, because you waste a lot of energy. So what we do, we get these army bags full of ready-to-eat meals. So when you do, for example, a trip like this, you really crave a very nice bed, some Netflix shows, maybe some social media, maybe some internet, and you don't have any of that. So everything is very uncomfortable, and therefore you start to appreciate your life back home much more. And that's the main reason why you need to start doing trips like this.
You know, from early on in life, whether for example through school, we've been taught that mistakes are bad, and therefore we become fearful of them. And the main reason why people are afraid to leave their comfort zone is because they fear making mistakes. But we can't go through life like that. Making mistakes is necessary. It's the quickest way to learn. It's what creates a critical mind. The unknown may seem daunting, but it's also where magic lies. It's where we discover new landscapes, new cultures, and most importantly, new parts of ourselves.
Mountain looks further than I thought.
Yeah man, we've been walking for like 2 or 3 hours.
How many hours do we have to go?
Fuck, as many as we can before the sun goes down.
But one of the biggest reasons why I continuously want to be in discomfort is because I don't want to become shy, unconfident, or doubtful. I want to continuously grow. Because if I'm afraid of trying new things or I fear certain emotions, then this fear will fuel all points I just mentioned earlier. But as we grow more accustomed to the journey, to the challenges and to the beauty, we begin to find joy in this progress. The struggle becomes not just bearable, but enjoyable. We all have limits, but they're often far beyond where we think they are. And pushing past them, feeling the burn and the ache, reminds us that we're alive. It reminds us that we're growing. And lastly, if I never step out of my comfort zone, I will never become a person that strives for success. And I think that now you can understand why staying in your comfort zone for the majority of your life can literally make it miserable. Because the comfort zone has a lot more to say about your life than you might think. Now, things that are inside of your comfort zone are easy to do. They are comfortable and they take little to no effort. Because there's pretty much no mental resistance when doing them. And you don't realize therefore all of the consequences that are slowly creeping into your life. Now, how about going on a journey like this? Well, it's a lot harder. For some, there is a boundary and it's more physically challenging. It requires more preparation, it makes you lose your breath or sweat, and maybe you have never done it. But there is a way for you to get started.
Alright, so we've decided to stop for today. We've been hiking all day. It's actually pretty crazy because today we ended up doing 35 kilometers, and I think that's why I've now injured my knee.
The first day, all I could think about was the comfort I had back home. I craved distractions and my mind was full of thoughts. But now, while I'm setting up camp, I reach my end of thought. And I feel great, because my comfort zone adapted and it changed. For example, as I mentioned earlier, let's say you've never been in a faraway country and you're not accustomed to exercising. Then an expedition like this will be very tough. But exercising and the unknown are good for you. Your mental and physical energy improves. Your outlook on life is much better and you're more optimistic. But if you never do any of this, you will feel nothing. And this will have a toll on your mental health. But it will also have a certain effect on the way your comfort and discomfort zone change. And after setting up camp, it was time to rest. But then, one of the most unexpected things happened.
Okay, so we came out of the tent to decide to shoot the stars. And I put on my light, and a guy from a distance decided to come by and invite us to some tea.
Welcome in Wadi Ram.
Thank you for inviting us for a tea.
Happy to hosting you in Wadi
Thank
Ram.
you.
Welcome. How you been here in Wadi Ram?
Now 3 days.
It's very nice.
We came from there, but now my knee is starting to hurt.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Do you remember what I said about the connection between the comfort zone and the things we fear? Well, fear and hate are some of the strongest emotions we can feel. And it's exactly these emotions that can take over our identity. What I'm about to say might be difficult to hear, but I think it's the truth.
You from where?
From the Netherlands.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
When someone looks different or follows a different belief, we start to fear the unknown in them. We start to make assumptions because of what we've been made believe. But once you experience and embrace our differences yourself, you will start to notice that the way we dress or the traditions we follow have nothing, literally nothing to do with how kind, how welcoming or how down to earth a person can be. But while being here with Salem, I do notice a difference between us. You know, I'm so busy, only focused on the future, and sometimes it benefits me. But I'm only busy with work. I only think about my next project, my business progress, and sometimes it makes me wonder if I'm missing out on the real meaning of life. I don't see my parents often, I don't see my brother often, and all I'm focused on is success. So maybe I can take something away from the way they live life here.
People say, okay, you know, we like to come back to this life. It's very old life, very simple life. Make fire, make tea, a Bedouin tent, you have a goat without internet. Because now you see, you know, there are big change in the world. And they like to show, you know, the simple life, the simple Bedouin life. I need to show the desert from a good way because something very important. For example, okay, live in desert. I never been in Europe, but I hosting European people very nice. And they need to show them the culture from nice way. You know, people will go back, say, okay, there are beautiful desert and the people living where there are good people.
Alright, we're good to go.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Salam.
See you next time.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Take care. Go through it. Okay?
I think it's a beautiful experience, connecting with other humans like that. But without Salem's amazing hospitality and us assuming he's different, this would have never happened. Instead, I would have feared the unknown and cancelled his invite.
Man, it's really something because you have these long stretches here where we just keep walking, and it's just a stretch of, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 kilometers. And it takes a long time. If we want to get shade, we have to go all the way there to the rocks. So it's really tough. And everything is starting to hurt. My knee, all the scratching from the boots to my skin, all the scratching from the clothing to my skin. And now it's gonna get really tough.
So yeah, these are several reasons why it's so important to step outside of your comfort zone. But one thing you need to realize is that the comfort zone can also shrink. It can become smaller. And this happens when you're complacent, when you think, I'm fine, so I don't need to change anything. But if you're not growing, you're dying. And that's true in every area of life. You stop challenging yourself to improve, and when you stop challenging yourself, you stop growing. It's not uncommon for people to regress to old, less productive habits after spending too much time in their comfort zone again. And I know it can be difficult, because even if we want to grow, the pull of the comfort zone is strong. Because it's safe and easy, it's natural for people to want to stay there. But we might also have a fixed mindset, and therefore you convince yourself that you don't have the necessary skills to do or to accomplish something, which will make you less motivated to look for opportunities to grow and learn new skills. And now the ultimate question is, how can we overcome this and get out of our comfort zone? And the answer is actually simple. Because it turns out that there is a relationship between performance and anxiety. See, when the discomfort is too much, you experience fear. But with an optimal level of pressure or anxiety, you will increase your performance. So start by changing your mindset and step into discomfort, changing your life step by step.
Oh man, this looks like a good camp spot.
Thousand steps later and we've reset our comfort level. The world is ever changing, and so are we. But if we decide to grow more accustomed to the journey of life, to its challenges and the beauty of it, we begin to find joy in the progress. And now, the struggle back home becomes not just bearable, but more enjoyable.
Bro, I'm not one to complain quick, but dude, I'm happy we're only doing 5 days. Because I don't think I can do another meter. I wouldn't complain quick about being tired, but now I'm actually exhausted. Like, we're trying to film these last scenes now, and my legs are giving up. So, I think that's it for this video. See you in the next one.